Professor Erlinder, you are going to fly to Kigali this afternoon. What are you going to do in Kigali, actually?
Well, my first obligation, of course, is to meet with my client, Victoire Ingabire, and to discuss the situation in which she finds herself. I understand she's under house arrest or limited travel circumstances, and that her passport has been seized. But of course, the first order of business is to see to her condition.
Many analysts say that this is a political trial. This is going to be a political trial. And your name has been mentioned by the newspapers in Kigali, by the prosecutor, as one of the lawyers who are abusing of their position and their scholarship to promote genocidal ideology. How do you think you're going to be welcomed in Kigali?
Well, if Kigali is a country that respects the rule of law and concepts of freedom of expression and freedom of speech, I should be treated as any other professional would be. Of course, how I'm treated will tell us a lot about the nature of the government and the nature of the prosecution against Madam Ingabire.
You are already involved in trials in Arusha, especially in military one. Do you think the trial of Ingabire is going to be different?
Well, of course, the trial of Ingabire is going to be different because, of course, she wasn't in Rwanda in 1954 or 1994, and none of the evidence in the military one trial is going to be relevant to her, except insofar as the military one trial found that there was no planning or conspiracy on the part of the former government or the former military, including figures such as Bagosora, to plan to commit crimes prior to the assassination of Habyarimana in 1994. So insofar as the tribunal has already found that there was no conspiracy or planning to commit genocide or other crimes, it may be relevant in understanding how it is that Madam Ingabire could be charged for ideology that has been found not to be factually supported at the ICTR.
Are you going to work alone, or it's a team that's going to defend Ingabire?
Well, we'll have other members working on as part of a team both inside Rwanda and outside Rwanda.
And what's going to be your main defense point, your main argument in this case?
Well, the main defense of Madam Ingabire, I think, is going to have to wait until I have an opportunity to examine the case more clearly. But as I understand it, there's going to be a question as to whether she actually said the things that she's alleged to have said, whether she actually had contact with the people she's alleged to have had contact with. And I think the evidence will show that she's much too smart and much too serious a person to make it so easy to prosecute her.
What do you think are going to be your relationships with the Rwandan judicial system, the authorities? Are you going to meet any of them? How are you going to behave actually in Rwanda?
Well, I'm going to provide the same sort of professional work that I always attempt to provide, and I'm going to be happy to meet with the prosecutors, understand the nature of the evidence that they have. I'm going to be pleased to meet with the judges and to have their assistance in understanding the Rwandan system from their viewpoint. But in the last analysis, it's going to come down to the quality of the evidence of the case against Madam Ingabire, and I think we'll be able to show that the quality of the evidence is really not very good at all.
When Ingabire went to Rwanda, her aim was to become a presidential candidate, but now the matter is different because she has now to fight in the court. Do you think you will have enough time to get her ready for her political, let's say, ambitions?
Well, I think the situation we're facing now is very much like the situation that faced the opposition candidates in 2003. As you know, Pastor Bizimungu and Faustin Twagiramungu were both, for all intents and purposes, driven out of the campaign and driven out of the country, actually, in the case of Twagiramungu. and the opposition parties weren't able to function. If that's what happens again in 2010, the world will be able to see that democratic principles and the challenge to the rule of President Kagame is not possible. And I think that's a lesson the world should learn as well.
I thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a safe trip to Rwanda.
Thank you very much.